ASTRO Van 2 is a 1996 all-wheel drive Chevy Astro van. It was a vehicle that was originally destined for the junk heap, but fixed it up and turned it into a log cabin on wheels. This video features my opinions, so take it with a grain of salt in regards to your build. Do what makes sense for your build and your design implementation. This is just what I have learned through 10 years of the builds that I have done. With that being said, I hope that you enjoy my video on implementationing of shelves in your van. Enjoy. We're going with that one. Topic of conversation, shelves. Building them, implementing them, thinking about building and implementing them in your small or mid-size van, SUV, or other adventure vehicle. I bring you 3 core concepts that will really help, or at least have really helped me shape the way that I have gone about my current build. For background, I have done 3 other vehicle conversions, and since then the one thing that has evolved more than anything has been the way that I implement storage. It's pretty basic. It's not reinventing the wheel, it's just going back to a space of basics on what makes the most sense for the small amount of space that you have. So, let's start with the first concept, is being able to fill the space between the bottom and top. So we're talking floor to ceiling and filling this area. The typical design aspect that people get into when they first start into builds is that we mimic countertops, tabletops, and nightstands, and I'm guilty of this as well. Here's my first build. My first build featured a Rubbermaid container behind the driver's seat that had a full-size sink. This design really suffered. One thing is that all the space between the cutting board to the ceiling was lost. I couldn't store anything there. And then 2, the Rubbermaid container effectively became a storage for some of my kitchen stuff, primarily soap and sponges for, washing dishes. That made any kind of quick grab item that we would want in the van just meant that it had to be stored somewhere else, which probably wasn't nearly as convenient for a quick grab item to be. So it was also just an ineffective use of space. The second build that I did, I had found some drawers in this shop area in this new place where I lived, and I sanded them, primed them, painted them, stained them, installed them in the vehicle. It was better than the previous build. It allowed for a lot more storage, but I also didn't fill the space from top to bottom. I put in this little bookshelf in there, but the problem was it went all the way to the back, and then it was just another countertop, the lip this time, but it suffered from the same problem. I couldn't put anything there because the very moment you start up your vehicle and start driving around, anything on countertops will fall off. So that is concept 1, is building from bottom to top and getting away from nightstands, tabletops, and countertops, because the very second you move the vehicle, you have to do more work to clear the area, and now you don't have that usable space that you could use for other things. So, concept 1, done. Concept 2 deals with the space now from forward to back, your depth, as well as creative use of negative space. I'm going to show you what I mean here in a second. But first, more coffee. Ooh. This is the second core principle in action, and that is thinking about depth. So we'll start up here with the front. This is dimensional lumber. It was the widest that I could find, which was available at the time. I found its position by sitting in the front seat and looking out the rear view mirror. I had this sliding in place before bolting it down, and even before I had shelves in here. I found out where this needed to sit, marked it, bolted it, and then started building the shelving unit, and then built the shelves behind. So the idea behind the shelves came from that second design, where I had all that space back here, but everything just fell around. Also, it came from whoever sleeps back here has a spot they can put their wallet, their phone, water bottle. You could even take a Nintendo Switch and lay it back there so you can game while just chilling in your van if it's a rainy day or before bed. There's also other usable shelves up here as well, and they're entirely enclosed and have a lip. So if you put something small in there, it shouldn't rattle around when you're driving. And you can also put soft things. For example, here is one sleeping bag option that we have. So that first shelf is actually lower than where the bed mattresses are, which is really nice for just like grabbing your phone, checking the time, setting an alarm, turning your alarm off, putting your coffee, taking a nap, waking up, cold coffee because you turned off your alarm. However you live, this will help. Let me show you what these shelves look like a little bit closer. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of usable space, which is up in here. For example, just because wide angle lenses kind of distort how the way things look, here is a, oh God, I spilled the coffee. Ah! Real quick though, this is why laminate flooring is great. I spilled coffee and it's waterproof. Gotta get it to Alpine. Okay, so because wide-angle lenses do distort the way that things look, this is actually a good usable amount of space. This is a pint glass. Pint glass can, there's a good amount of space up in there. For the top spot, a point-and-shoot camera, RX100 Mark 7, Wahoo. It can go right up there. So, I mean, there is a good amount of usable space in both of these spots. Okay, and lastly, the conversation of negative space. If you look down there, you can see the light. Whoop. You can see light coming through the back. I'm going to take the point and shoot and show you what it's like underneath here. Yeah. Here's the bottom drawers. Underneath here, I just kind of have this own section. Bring it back here. So that goes all the way through, and that's the back behind the driver's seat. So this is a heater that operates and pulls heat from the coolant lines. So it's super unique, but it's also a little bit of a challenge to get out of the van. So decided to build around it. If you have wet shoes, you could go and put them next to the heater. It's a full-on open, breathable area. Air exchange is frequent. Instead of having, you know, a non-usable space, back here is a little spot that you can dry stuff if you want to, or that's where it could put specific, you know, reflecto things for your vehicle. That's the reflecto spot, okay, next to the other reflecto. And then also here, camp chairs, a portable fire pit, just a lot of extra space that otherwise could have just been eaten up and had in previous builds. Let's talk about the individual shelves and what I use them for. The two bottom shelves can be used for shoe storage as well as my f-stop ICU, the small shallow variety. This holds all my travel camera gear, the Sony a7R IV with a 24-105 f4 lens and the 16-35 2.8 GM lens. Next up is the junk drawer that I affectionately like to call it. It's effectively the small little amount of space that I've given myself to just kind of put miscellaneous gear. Inside of here I have such things as a 20,000 milliamp battery bank, a lighter, USB cord, and a flashlight. It's really nice because the way that this is designed as well is it can just kind of hang out and chill. You can go and grab and put your stuff here and then put it back. It's not on any rails or anything. It's just straight up felt, which is all holding it in place on the sides and the bottom. And then it just slides right back in. There is a bottom piece of felt right there, and that just squishes it in just like that. So I'm giving myself one little space that I can kind of put miscellaneous quick grab items. And yeah, that's the junk drawer. All right, up next is this kind of open miscellaneous space. Eventually, I think I'm going to have a water dispensing unit, so you can just kind of have quick grab water access if you want to. Right now, this kind of acts as my countertop. If you're just kind of hanging out, it's a wonderful place to just kind of place something if you need to. You can also take like a sweatshirt or something and just, hey, I'm gonna put my sweatshirt right there. Haven't made a commitment yet on it, but it's nice to have just kind of put stuff there. And then, yeah, up top, books. And finally, for our bookshelf finale, I give you the bookshelf. These don't really rattle around at all. This is glued in place. In order to get a book out, you kind of have to push back, then push forward. It's nice because nothing will ever fall out. Very, very happy with how this has all turned out. And I also really like this. It's kind of, it's like a, you know, sunbeam, you know, like, remember? I don't know. Man, it's getting hot in here. Okay, so lastly here, this is the shelving unit. You have access directly to the dimmer switch, on and off, and then dimmer control. You also have direct access to the fan. I've left space here to be able to put a variable speed controller for the fan. We have 1, 2, 3 shelves. All have lips. These bottom two have a much bigger lip than the top one does. And this also kind of has a barrier bar that goes across it so that things don't fall out when you're driving. Remember to stay hydrated, everyone, super important. There is this cabinet face, which is down here. The cabinet face itself, it hides the actual wheel indentation, as well as the scissor jack. We have ultra high reflective triangles of safety. Put other stuff in here as well, jumper cables, trekking poles a lot of times I'll put in here. Just a way to tidy everything up, make some more usable space, be able to kind of put all emergency stuff down in one spot. Yeah. All right, and the third and final core concept that I use, well, it's kind of a two-part third one. Ready? Okay, so first, everything has its place. Everything has a space. Two, put everything in a container. Group everything together. For example, these are sleeping bags, and they are in their own stuff sacks. This is Eagle Creek Cube, so that's sheets. This is another Eagle Creek. This is the Spectre, a medium Spectre. These are all my shirts. So I've got all my shirts rolled up. In fact, this is how I store shirts at home because it makes it really easy to be able to go out on a trip, reach into the drawers, grab what you need, put it in a Spectre cube, and then go. But yeah, you just start organizing like this. So what I'm going to do is load up the shelves and show you just kind of what it looks like and how easy it is to just identify an item that you need and then just be able to grab it. Yeah, give me a second. So here is the shelving unit with a kind of mock pack of what I would take out in a weekend or for like a week or 2 week expedition. There's a lot of usable space here. And what I used to do in my first builds is I did that countertop design. I couldn't store anything on top of it, and I rarely ever used it. It's so easy to see what I need and then can grab it. So let me just kind of go through and I'll just show you how much stuff you can fit in here. Thermarest Z seat, closed cell foam, doesn't soak up water. I've actually been using this as I've been filming this. Super lightweight, highly recommend it. I've got probably 2 days worth of backpacking food right here. Water filtration kit. So in the water filtration kit, I have this Sawyer Squeeze, the big one, a couple Evernew 2-liter empty bottles, and you can make a gravity feed system out of the whole thing. It's pretty sweet. Nice to be able to have it in just one nice lightweight container. I have a Hyperlight Southwest backpack. So that's how big this space is back here. You can throw in full-on backpacks if you need to. I've got my clothes, rolled up shirts. These are my sheets for my bed. 2 sleeping bags. So these are the Marmot Trestle Elite over here. So the Jetboil Minimo. The Minimo itself actually is its own compartment. On the inside, you have the stove as well as you have your fuel and the little stand for the fuel too. The GSI Infinity Outdoor Backpacking Mug. This is one of my favorite mugs that has ever existed. I've done a write-up on my blog. Highly recommend it. Super cheap, practically indestructible. Neoprene sleeve. It also is its own measuring cup. Leak-proof lid. I write more about this on my blog. It's not necessarily leak-proof. Check it out. Rechargeable batteries. Know where they are at all times. These are my tent stakes, MSR groundhogs in a Dyneema bag. This is another Dyneema pouch. This is a trowel. This is the Deuce trowel from Tent Lab. Toilet paper. This is the toiletry kit, literally, for when backpacking. Cords, USB cables. My puffy down jacket, the Ghost Whisperer 2, lives in here. This is toiletries kit, the Tenba Cable Duo 4. Fantastic for travel, huge amount of depth. You can put a bunch of stuff in here. You can see everything TSA compliant. Also has a handle and spots to be able to hook it up with a carabiner, or if you have a strap. Ultralight Deluxe Mega Pillow. I love this thing. It's a Ceta Summit Eros Pillow, Ultralight Deluxe. Thermarest Neo Air Uberlight. These are prone to popping. Hasn't happened to me yet, but I am anticipating it. The Z-Pax Duplex 2-person tent. The poles are trekking poles, so typically I keep them stored down there. And then up top, which you can't really see from the camera angle, underwear, retractable umbrella, gloves. It's a huge amount of space. It's fantastic for just grab-and-go items. It makes packing this easy, and it makes packing up camp and everything you need to do super easy as well. Toss it all back in. Simple as that. It doesn't fly around the van. It's nice. It looks orderly. And that's about it. I'm going to clean up this mess here, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, so final thoughts. The Chevy Astro van, as well as other small and mid-sized vans, have a lot of great usable space to them. In my opinion, I think that easily seeable, grabbable, quick grab items are important to the feeling of a nice, good flow van dwelling overlanding experience. Convenience as well as aesthetic, making things look nice, but also something that it's really easy and intuitive to live in is really important. If you have time available to plan ahead and kind of plan these things out, it makes the experience all that much better. Anyway, I really hope that you folks like this and that this has helped give you some ideas on how to go about the design of your vehicle of choice. Anyway, peace with the journey, everyone. and we'll see you next time. Woo! Woo!